Hi, Katie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm kind of damp, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Very pretty much very unusual for us, for unusual weather. For it was like this the last time you were here, for sure.
No, it was not. I feel like it's my fault. Everywhere I go lately, like I was just in LA for a long time. It was rainy and cold. There's a drought there. I don't really know what that was about. And then, I was in Spain for a while. It's just rainy and cold. And now here I am in Portugal, and it's
last
rainy.
week was rainy and cold as well.
It was like half and half. It was
okay.
Yeah, okay. Totally.
Because I love Primavera. I went 7 years in a row to Barcelona until 2016. So like 2010 to 2016, and it's always awesome weather. Actually, very rarely is it like grim, or at least at any sort of cold. This is like the coldest Primavera I've ever been to. Yeah. Shame on you, Primavera. Porto. No, not their fault. Yeah. But it's certainly not your fault either. So there you go.
Thank you. But, I won't blame myself anymore.
You don't. So you're more of a rocker now, I guess. Right?
Sort of. I think like this, what I'll be performing today is sort of more of the rock and roll persuasion. I don't know that that's a permanent thing, but it's at the moment it's sort of what we're doing. Yeah.
I've seen you tease that you might go back to more calmer the territories.
Yeah, the music that I'm kind of writing right now, that's sort of what it looks like is going to happen. Yeah.
Unless you get like, I don't know, Steve Albini to produce it, and then it's really very hard-edged, I guess.
Yeah, if we get Albini in the mix, yeah, it might. Who knows what's going to happen? Yeah.
Out in the Storm, there's a couple of songs, like, does it feel to you that you'll be kind of forever arguing with that person because of some songs, really?
Who it's about?
I guess even if it's a poetic subject, even if there's no one specific, which I'm sure it is, but do you feel like you'll be arguing with that interlocutor? Like to the poetic subject, so to speak.
Right. Not really. Honestly, I feel like I really let go of it. Yeah. Cool. Songwriting's pretty powerful. It's cathartic. You can really let go of some stuff when you write it down and you put it on record and people hear it and reinterpret it, and I feel very much like I've let all of it go. So performing it, I'm able to kind of compartmentalize and not harp on what it's about anymore so much. But I mean, it's still like I'm very proud of it. I think I wrote it in just the right moment where it wasn't so fresh. The emotions weren't so fresh that it was like over the top earnest, but it was earnest enough that people, I think, really relate to it. So yeah.
Has it changed its meaning? For instance, being able to let go from the events is something, is one thing, and being able to let go from the original meaning of the song is another, I would guess. Has it changed for you, these sorts of lyrical content?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think kind of like it was sort of one after the other, where I sort of had moved on from the event, and then sort of the song sort of followed after that. So I don't know. And I also think just hearing the songs and performing them kind of over and over helped me just there's a certain amount of power and agency in that. So I feel like I was just able to kind of sing my way out of it. Yeah.
I was asking because you could and eventually, could have ended up, or you never know. You can, but even in this time period, you could be singing the feisty way towards I'm singing about this now. This is pissing me off. I don't know. Even on stage,
yeah.
Created something for yourself that great. I'm going to have to deal with this forever.
Right. I'm going to have to. I'm just going to dredge it up forever, and I'm going to have to rehash it. No, I think the opposite is true. People ask me that a lot. People ask me does it bring does it bring all of that stuff back to your songs? Like, because they're so personal, do they does it rehash all these old feelings for you often? And I'm always sort of surprised because I'm like, if that was true, I don't really know how I would be able to do what I do. You know what I mean? It's sort of like I have to be able to kind of like let all of it go. Otherwise, if I'm on stage every night, kind of like having an emotional breakdown, that would be very difficult. You know?
I'm not sure I'm able to do this at this point.
Yeah.
I was asking more in the sense that not necessarily specifically. I don't know what other people are asking. I try not to ask the same things as everybody else. But for instance, but in that case, I guess people are referring to the actual event, and I meant more in the sense that, great, now I have to be angry all the time, like, or recurrently.
Right. Yeah. I try. I feel like I'm able to just not be angry and just focus on the performance, and
Good.
It's good. It's good. It's for the best.
For the best.
Yeah.
You've been on Merge for a few years now, and how do they treat you over there? Because Mac has been on the show, Mac McCon of Superchunk, and the owner of the label, has been on the show. We love them, and everyone from Merge we've met has been awesome. So I don't know. Do you feel comfortable at Merge?
Very much so. Yeah, they're the best. I mean, I always kind of describe it as like a family business. That's sort of what it feels like. It's everyone's really tight knit, and they're the best. I have nothing but nice things to say about Merge. Yeah.
And another thing that this is kind of a tradition. Always. Each time we have a Merge artist on the show, and we only have people we love on the show, so it's like a curatorship of good taste, guys. So there you go. But if it's on the show, it's good. We recommend it. So, we tend to speak about comedy a lot with the Merge artists. So this is your case. Do you have any favorite comedy that you watch and are getting into now, maybe?
Yeah, well, that's funny. I feel like Merge and comedy weirdly go hand in hand. I think they're
really.
I think so. I mean, I think
so much. I think they do so much.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they kind of like weirdly go hand in hand. They like I think there's a lot of comedians that are just friends of.
You're saying that they do.
They do.
No, That's my point.
Right. They very much so. I think that, let's see, my dear friend Beth Stelling, she's one of my favorite stand-ups right now. Yeah, she's a buddy of mine. I love Kate Berlant. I don't know if you know her.
I love Kate Berlant.
Yeah, I love Kate Berlant. Sure. I became friends with her a few years ago because we did a festival together, and she did an hour of comedy, and there was like, I had never heard of her before then, and it blew my mind. Yeah, totally. She's amazing. And then I just saw Jen Kirkman.
Awesome.
It was really good. Those are probably at the moment my top 3. I really want to see the Ali Wong's Netflix special.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, but I really like the first one.
The new one?
Yeah. I'll probably watch it on this tour at some point. Those are my faves.
We were just speaking to one of a friend who's a label rep for you, we were just speaking to a friend of ours about the show on Netflix, The Characters, because it has Kate Berlant has the best episode. I mean, it's a work of art. I mean,
she's gonna be like
and John Early's as well.
Oh, I love John Early's too. Yeah,
they go hand in hand.
They do. Yeah, they're kind of like partners in crime.
That's awesome taste in comedy, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think Kate is, she's like a legend in the making, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Plus, because of her background, because she's daughter of, I forget, fine arts artist who's from New York.
Yeah.
So you can tell in her comedy that it's broader and it's not just musings about society.
Totally.
Yeah, it's more. I'm an artist. I'm doing like a painting with my silliness.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, with my with her there's something like very like deep and heady about the whole thing. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Have you had any sorts of approaches in terms of your writing, kind of like that? Like, I'm trying to go for something more ambitious than I thought initially.
Yeah, you know, my albums kind of tend to like sort of take turns. Like, I feel like every other one I kind of go from being super personal and literal to sort of trying to be more well, actually, I feel like there's like two categories of Waxahatchee records. There's the ones that I'm like really personal. It's all very literal. It's all very rooted in experience. And then there's the ones where I try to be a little bit more ambitious with it. And so that's kind of where I'm at with the next one. I think I've been writing for it, and I feel like it's going to be a little bit less like out in the storm is such a raw nerve. You know, I think the next one will be a little bit more, like take it a little deeper and
It sounds healthy, like a healthy way to go about things.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I think so too. Yeah.
I was thinking actually because of the rock thing, also because this album was heavier, just rockier, I guess. But does it tire you out physically? Like, does it physically tire you out more performing songs?
Yeah, no one talks about that, but it really does. Yeah.
It sounds to me like it's natural effect, cause and effect.
It is. We call it a bangover because of headbanging. Yeah.
Okay.
It's called a bangover. It like your shoulders, like my shoulders, and sometimes my arms. Like, I wake up and it's very, very sore, especially if I haven't done it in a while. Like, if the first few days of a tour over when I'm with the rock band are a little tough for me. Yeah, because of the bangover. Yeah.
Did you as a teen have any sort of training or practice as an old school metal head?
Not at all. Self-taught. Yeah, I'm a self-taught metalhead.
Oh no, I was self-taught as well, but you know, I headbanged a lot when I was 12 or 11.
Yeah.
But then I guess I got some sort of training.
My hair has really affected it too because it's longer now, so it's heavy, and so it kind of throws my neck around a little bit.
Yeah, I used to have shorter hair. Now I have the man bun because it's still so long that I have to. Otherwise, it's not.
Right.
But yeah, that's cool. So no, that's what sort of metal were you into, by the way?
I'm not actually into metal.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
You can though. You can be a fan of anything. Really.
Yes, I know. I think it's just the one genre that I've never, and I have pretty broad taste in music, but metal is never an avenue I've gone down yet. Who knows? So life is long.
Mine is reggae. I can.
You can't with reggae? I can handle
some reggae, like some tangents, like Max Romeo is really good, like really old reggae. I can understand it.
Right.
Most reggae I don't.
Yeah, I think for me, like metal, it's just like the literal opposite of what I do. So I think that, it just hasn't come up for me yet. But I'm not against it. I feel like someday, who knows, life, like I said.
Yeah, it's not, you haven't gone down that.
Not yet. Yeah, I'm not a metalhead yet.
Yeah. Watch out for the metalhead Katie in the future.
We will try to know whatever we try.
You did a song that I love, which is Farewell Transmission with Kevin Morby. Songs Ohio. That's a Songs Ohio song. Actually, it's kind of weird. It's not. The label says it's Songs Ohio, but Jason Molina said it wasn't. But I don't know. It's kind of up in the air, I guess.
Yeah,
forever,
totally.
At least.
Yeah, forever. Yeah, I always considered that one Songs Ohio, but then the other Molina song that we did is Magnolia Electric Company. So it's sort of just like it's Molina, It's
Molina,
yeah,
exactly,
it's Molina.
Exactly. But so you just released this with Kevin Morby like three or 4 months ago. How did that come about? Like how did you get Kevin to play on that song and why? Obviously, you love the song, right?
Yeah, we love Molina. That kind of came up. Kevin's my boyfriend, so that's kind of like.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I never know these things. I'm sorry.
People kind of are afraid to ask, I guess.
Okay.
I have to say it. So we kind of just had a shared love of Jason Molina, and we always kind of talked about covering it, and we kind of just always sort of casually cover songs anyway. So anyway, that was like a big, for me, it felt like a really big challenge because that song is such a beast,
Yeah, for sure.
So we kind of got more and more into it, and then Kevin sort of reached out to the people at Secretly Canadian, which was Jason Molina's label. I think he was like the first artist that they ever had, so they were super psyched, and they kind of really pushed us to do it, and then kind of the rest is history. We just kicked him out. Yeah.
It's awesome, and it's awesome that there's artists that such as yourself that are carrying on that sort of legacy. It's something that is important to maintain, I think. Like it's because it's of a certain time. It's really weird. It's timeless, but also there was like a time for those things, right? I don't have necessarily a point. It's just like something that I feel that is true, I guess. I don't know. It's of a certain period, but it's also it should be carried on, like because for instance kids might not know that now, and they listen to your song now with Kevin, and then this is a fantastic song and it's a fantastic interpretation. You also sped it up a little.
Yeah, we sped it up. We did change the key, but that was kind of like not something that I personally really thought about when we did it. But since then, it's really come up that people didn't know his music, and were like, oh my God, like, and then kind of went, so in a way it sort of like, and in a small way it sort of was giving some of it new life, and that was really cool to kind of like, because he's such a life-changing like musical find, you know what I mean? Like I feel when I came upon like his music, it really changed things for me. So that was cool too, to kind of have people, to like turn people onto Molina's music. Yeah.
And it's funny because it's something that's in the back of my mind. Like I know these things, but I haven't listened to them like in 15 years. Especially because Nônô, who was very big on that sort of stuff back in 2004 or 5. So and so I know those songs from back then, but then I forget that they exist, and then suddenly having you do this, I'll go listen to the song again and listen to your version, and then wow, this is really, really, really solidly good. I'd forgotten. Right?
Yeah, totally. That was kind of what happened for me too. Like Kevin kind of asked me if I liked it, and I was like, I haven't listened to that in a very, very long time. It kind of like I kind of breathed new life into it for me too. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just one last thing, because this show is called Made of Things, and it's based on the idea that an artist has dedicated themselves to art, to whatever they're doing, because they heard something or read something or watched something or something happened, like in terms of experience, of personal experience, that made them go, I really want to do that for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Did you have that, and what was it, if so?
Yeah, I think that when I started playing music in a band, I was young, and I had this friend, Montana, who was really into like the coolest music, and she kind of got me and my sister Allison into like all of our favorite music, and we all sort of like superficially started our first band, and no one was that into it except for me and Allison, and so I think that was it, just sort of like having our being at such a young age and having our friends sort of be like, I don't know about this, and like Allison and I both looking at each other and being like, no, this is it, this is what we want to do.
That's usually a good sign.
Yeah, like, and even kind of to the extent that we like would just sort of didn't even care about like being friends anymore. We just wanted to like play music, like that kind of ended up being like a falling out with us and our like early teen friends, because we took it too seriously, and none of them really wanted to do the band. So that's kind of when we knew, we're like, oh yeah, I think this is our thing that we're supposed to do, Yeah.
And was there any sign that you remember that it made total sense that you were doing that? I mean, I apologize from I'm extremely tired, so my accent is kind of falling off track. Was there like a moment like you guys were playing and you guys were like, or it was just like in the long run?
Yeah, when we got like the first like real lineup of our first band together, and we all kind of like got through a song and nailed it. It was sort of like, oh yeah, like it just all kind of felt right, Yeah.
Did you have any like musical role models at the time?
So many, yeah. I mean, I think like half Kathleen Hanna, half Jenny Lewis. So it was like those were the two. We wanted to do a combination of that. So.
And now you have the sleater-kinney guitarist on your lineup. So
yes.
In your lineup.
Dear Katie Harkin, yes. Yeah.
So it's kind of meeting you and playing with your heroes, kind of.
Yes.
Sort of.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks, Katie. That's it.
Great.
Okay.